now, ladies and gentlemen, the star of our show, direct from the bar.
Today, still wanted by the government, they survive as soldiers of fortune. If you have a problem, if no one else can help, and if you can find them, maybe you can hire...
They're back!
Driving all the way in! Oh, God! An unbelievable move! He put it in and it counts! Can you believe that?
That's the most frightening thing a defender can see. You be the only guy back on defense and he's coming at you.
It back, 3 on the way. Yes, sir! Oh, he turned around, too! That was dirty! Oh, what a shot! He is ruthless!
Welcome to our world.
There was silence. Then we rose again. Season 3 of the Delinquent Show is here. Yo, 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 we're back! Rose from the ashes. The Delinquent Show is back in full effect. What a show we got for you. And guess who's here? And he's always here. He is the Messiah himself. Mr. JP's in the house. Co-pilot, what's happening?
I thought you was going to say something derogatory then, like he's here himself, the shit house, the troublemaker, the this, the that. But no, I'll accept that. All good, mate. All good.
Well, finally, the Delinquent Show is back.
Well, come on. Let's be honest with the viewers. It was back yesterday for 3 hours and 34 minutes.
And it was back this morning for an hour trying to get his sound because his sound is rubbish.
No, I will explain to the viewers.
Nobody wants to hear it. No one wants to hear it. Blah, 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 blah.
We have had
blah, 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 blah.
many recordings, and we have found out, thanks to myself being the brains of the operation, the echo was created by none other than Soft Lad.
No. Let's get this right. The echo was your echo, so we had to work through. Do you know, like, work through? Do you know how to work through things? Or no, you don't know how to work through things because you're always doing things on your own. So anyway.
That's part of being in the Cobra meeting, I'm afraid.
Bang!
If you'd have turned up.
I'm always there. We're back in full effect. And our first show, we got some show for you for the first one. We definitely got some show for you. And tell me, John, what is the first show?
Oh, well, we're going to go straight into what's coming up today. We've got shout-outs. We've got a little statement we want to make. The main event, as you would have seen regarding the polls and everything, regarding coaching, we're going to get into it deep. And then before the ad break, we've got a new feature. After the break, JP's News Rounds back by
And also, we've reworked the advert because we didn't like that music. Now we got some banging music.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I hope you all like the new intro. We do have a new ending as well.
Yeah. We got new backgrounds for season 3. And if you'd noticed, that's all our backgrounds is season 1, season 2, and whatever else we could think up. Paris. Woo! It's going to be a beauty season 3. We can't wait to get started. You know what? Let's start. Go ahead, lad.
Let's go. Okay. Shout outs. Straight off.
Hold on. What do you mean shout outs? We must declare this show is the truth and nothing but the truth.
Oh, yeah. We need to declare that. Everything that is said on this show is controversial, but the truth.
And nothing but the truth.
If you find it offensive or upsetting, we advise you don't watch it. If you watch it and still find it upsetting and disturbing, send to our complaints department via the pigeon.
The what?
Pigeon.
No telegraph.
And one day we will reply.
That pigeon, he has a lot of work to do, doesn't he, that pigeon? Anyway, let's get to the shout outs.
So first of all, we're going to have a shout out to our legend, main legend, Sir Philip Craven. We was meant to be, or it should have been done by now, the interview with him. But
Jocelyn.
our poor Jocelyn has had to go in for a new hip. So
You know why that is? Carrying him around all the time, all over the world, isn't it? She needs a bloody new hip.
We know who the gaffer is. We know.
We know.
But hopefully Jocelyn will be back on the dance floor soon. Until then, Phil is playing nurse. So he has no time for us.
So what we'll do, Jocelyn, we'll send you around a real nurse that will really look after you. Get well soon. Get well soon.
Yeah. We're just thinking, going off the schedule the producers put up, do we list out who we're interviewing? Do we give them a heads up, the viewers?
We can do. It's up to you, but it's always nice to have a secret, isn't it? And be a surprise. They know we're going to interview Phil.
Yeah, they know Phil, but we've got two Americans, past and recent in the past, legends.
Past and present.
Mm.
Nah, let's just leave it. Let's go on.
All right, no problem.
Get those shout outs there, lad. Get those shout outs.
So following on from the shout outs and our Paralympic episode we last did, we got some messages sent in by different people. The first one's coming up on your screen now. That's from someone we met in the live chat, CP Trader.
Oh, he was brilliant. Brilliant company.
Yeah. We actually thought he was Colin Price, but the way he was talking about Richmond biscuits and everything, and he was in the live chat in Cologne during Paris. We had banter with him. Top bloke. Anyway, his bottom of his message says, I also watched your recent episodes about the JP ban and the letter sent to Sinclair School. It's shocking. If this happened in more high-profile sport, it would be front page of the news. But because we're a minority sport, it's not. Keep up the good work. I look forward to more episodes. I'm sure I'll see you both in the chat during the Paras. Winding up, Neil P. You must be great fisherman, JP, because he always has him take the bait. So that's from one of our top fans, CP Trader. Then we got another one from Live Chat Troll JT. Don't know who this is. But
Comedy gold. He was comedy gold as well.
Yeah, goes on to say, enjoyed the live chat, found it interesting. We made it more interesting being in the chat in the Paralympics. Bottom of his paragraph says, but I think I have a solution for yourselves and also the association and the national teams. Why don't you all have a meeting and provide a plan and see if they can hire you guys? It is seriously wrong what the coaching teams delivered in Paris for all to see. Was simply terrible. Forget what's gone on, even though you both deserve an apology, but find a middle ground and make the sport great again. Best wishes, Live Chat Troll JT.
Tried that, didn't work.
Yeah. The middle ground at the minute is basically at the base of a volcano. And instead of meeting there for a chat, we're just going to drop the grenade and let it explode. Sorry, JT.
There's a kaboom.
Next message was to Tom Millard, 5119. Regardless of any differing opinions, the statistical breakdown and data was absolutely first class, and it must have took you a lot of time and effort. Regarding Maddie, my first ever game was against Coyotes. I think when I played for Rhinos, I bet she was 14 or 15 at the time, and she skinned me alive. Within 30 seconds, I was like, what the hell? I remember laughing to myself thinking, okay, welcome to the world of basketball. Yeah, well, we know the Maddie situation. Sad. Disturbing.
But fixable, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully. And then the last message regarding the last show was from Kathy Davis Gregory. Great stuff, guys. Had to watch over 2 days, but very interesting and educational for everyone, including them suits. Round of applause.
But also in the shout outs, when we was on our Paralympic, we had a few how do I call these people? Dummies? Stupid? Or what? What do you reckon?
Yeah, there was a few breeds, weren't there? I think we mentioned them on the last show. I mean, that guy that kept talking about prisoner cell block H, his bedroom walls must be made of sponge. He was a crazy guy. You know what I mean?
It takes something for us to bar him from the chat, doesn't it? But it had to be done.
I don't like dissing people live on a post like this, but he definitely eats his cat's food. He definitely shares the food with his cat.
Nice for the shout outs. The shout outs were pretty good, lad. Pretty good. Keep them coming.
Yeah. Statement time. Before we move on to the main event, got to get this out. Let us explain a few things regarding the Paralympic show, the Delinquent show itself, and everything. We are not saying we're the solution to the coaching issue. But if you're asking us, do we, me and Sinclair, both think we could have done a better job than Bill and Ben with the men or the Fawlty Towers duo with the women? 100%. Throw in Joe and Addy with the juniors. Could we outcoach them? 100%. 100%. It's not. We're not mocking them. We're not mocking them at all. It was proven in the men's. It was proven way before the Paralympics that they were out of the depth. They weren't preparing for a Paralympics. They were preparing for each tournament. Cologne, we said people should have got more court time. It backfired. They didn't have a plan B. The women, I know we made a mockery of Basil and Miguel. The fact is, one more minute. Yeah, we made that mockery. Because it was a mockery. It was an absolute joke. Anybody who's working in that office, making them videos.
You're joking.
The mic'd up videos for the VWB. If you think they're promotional or educational or whatever, an insight, they're an insight to stupidity. Let's get that right.
Yeah, they were. Everything. It was embarrassing to watch those as mic'd up. Totally embarrassing.
You actually had a microphone on a mic'd up one of Adio shooting under the basket, where some guy walks over and says, "Oh, I didn't know you could shoot." And he said, "Oh, you're joking. I was a dead-eye shooter in my day."
Did I miss that?
He was mic'd up. He must have knew people were listening. A dead-eye shooter. I never got that, Mo.
But, you know, when you're doing mic'd up, you don't embarrass the team. And it was embarrassing.
Yeah, it was.
Manuel, I mean, one more minute. And you actually, somebody said, yes, let's air this so everybody can see what an idiot he is.
Yeah.
If I'd have saw that, I said, do not put that on air. Do not.
Exactly. But to finish off this statement, this show delivers the views and opinions of me and Cinny, and you, the fans. You write in, and we say it. What happens? We get banned. So be it. What happens? Well, I got banned. You get attacked. I mean, I'm not being funny. If I'd have got attacked like you, if I was you and I'd have got attacked the way you did, before I go to bed at night and draw the curtains, I'd have been looking outside for pillowcases were too old.
Who said I haven't? Who said I haven't been? Every day I look out the window. Hold on. No, it's all right. It's just cloudy. It's just cloudy.
We're days away from bonfire night. You know them kind of people like dancing around a bonfire. I've watched Bad Boys too.
Yeah, but we've got the kryptonite, lad. The kryptonite.
Yeah, I've got the kryptonite.
No, look, if you don't like what we're doing, don't watch. That's as simple as that. But it's clearly people do like what we're doing. We always tell the truth. We have some fun, and that's what this show is all about. And if you don't like it, you don't really have to watch, do you? But we all know you're watching, even if you're watching in secret.
Before the people, that's it regarding the statement. I've just got to say this while we're recording live. Don't write in and say Sinclair looks like Andy Peters on CBBCs with all the kids posters behind him. I get that image. I can see it. We don't need any inboxes regarding that. Andy Peters hasn't lost all his hair. It is Sinclair Thomas, and they are not kids posters. They're previous shows we've made as the background.
Well, I'd love Andy Peters' job because he's the only person that I know that doesn't really do anything and just, I'm giving away £50,000 today, and he travels all around the world.
I know.
A quality job. He has got a quality job. Anyway, let's move on.
Main event. It's the main event time. Can you hear that song? This is it.
You sure? We're ready for this?
Yeah. Coaching in the UK and the levels.
Well,
coaching level 1, level 2, level 3. You've seen the polls. I mean, we've had that many polls on our Facebook page. Looked like a lap dancing bar at one point.
And you'd know what a lap dancing bar looks like.
Yes, I would.
I've never been in one of those places.
That's why I don't have a mortgage. The polls took me.
Yeah, I've never stepped foot in one of those places. Never.
No, you're right. You haven't stepped foot in because you're old. rolling. Yeah.
Anyway.
For the one I remember in Italy, I think Cine rolled in and got carried out, if I remember rightly.
Was that after they carried you out?
I tried to stay the night. I wanted to lock them.
Yeah, we did have a few lock-ins. Anyway, let's get to this crucial topic. The coaching clinics.
Yeah.
Just coaching, general coaching.
Obviously, you've seen the polls that we did. For those who didn't see, we had different polls go up on our Facebook page, trying to get as much info regarding this. One of the polls was, what level coaching award do you currently have, whether active or inactive? We got so many votes, and to no surprise, level 2 led the way. 55% of you have got a level 2. 34% of you have level 1. And there was 10% of level 3s. Why, I don't know. But we'll get to that. So we put the poll out. And the reason was, we've had so many messages come back to us and say, you know, different negativity around the coaching levels. One guy wrote to us and said he did a course and the tutor actually asked the paying participant, what's a press? The tutor asked, what's a press?
Disturbing, isn't it, to be fair?
That's disturbing.
Because really, the tutor should know everything, basically, what they're going to teach. They should know every concept of the game.
We'll get to the tutors later, believe me. But the reason for the polls was we wanted to get a picture of what's out there. We also asked a question. Have any of you applied to be a senior coach? International coach, sorry. Several clicked it and said yes. And then the next poll was the most interesting one. Or for everyone that had clicked they were a level 2 or a level 3 coach, this is only for you. Did you ever apply to coach one of the national teams? Did you ever coach domestically? So we got 20% of the votes saying they coached. Did you ever apply to coach one of the national team? Coach one of the national teams? 20% of the votes said they coached or applied to coach the national team. 71 said they were just domestic coaches, and 9% said they've never coached. So we're talking about level 2 and level 3, not level 1. Out of all the people that had voted for level 2 and level 3, 9% have never coached the game.
Which I understand, because getting a level 2 is not just about coaching. A lot of people get it so they can go and coach in schools, and earn a dollar, and do PE lessons in school, which is fine. It's not really a problem, really, because it goes around. It goes. All sports do exactly the same, but it's a lot. 9%. It's quite a lot, really, to be fair. And then
it is. And then, as you'll see now, they'll start flicking up on the screen. All these people, I'm not going to list them all out. I'm just putting them up so you can see. These were all the level 1s currently that participated in the poll. We know a lot of people, even the ones that comment on the historic photos we put on, never participated in this. There's a lot of names that happily comment about the good times when they played, but they didn't participate in this. We know why. But all these are the level 1s. And then we've got all these level 2s. There were so many more level 2s. So many more.
There's loads out there. There's got to be loads out there, because if you think about the teams, each team has to have a level 2 coach in them. How many teams are in the league?
Yeah. Well, one of the people that has commented on the polls inboxed us and said he's actually only a level 1 coach, but he's the head coach of a team in the league at the minute. But obviously, he can't go down as a head coach because he's only level 1. So they have a level 2 named coach, but the level 1 coach is actually head coach of the team. And I asked him, I said, well, why have you not got a level 2? He said, well, the problem is I'm up in the north and all the level 2 awards are always held in the south. It's just too far.
Well, isn't that a weird thing? You think he's level 1, yeah, he's the head coach, and the guy who's level 2 is just a name to be level 2.
Yeah.
So it's like, really? I don't know. He clearly wants to coach, but obviously he needs a course. So there should be courses, England, Scotland, Wales, wide. There should be courses for everybody to do these level 2s. But is it because of where the tutors are?
Well, I mean, does it go off the tutors?
Well, it's got to have a tutor. So I would have thought, I think it's about a numbers game. They won't do a course unless there's more than 20 people to make money, if you know what I mean. Not to say that we want to get people past. If there's 5 people, still do the course, because that's 5 more coaches that we could have that are good quality coaches. Well, coaches. I'm not going to say good quality coaches. Just going to say there's coaches. And he's been waiting, I know, for years to have a course up his way. Now, that doesn't make no sense.
Yeah. But then, when we get to the level 3 coaches in the country, this is where it gets a little bit interesting. So we asked the level 3. Remember, we asked the question, have any of you applied to be the national coach? So the level 3 coaches are Wendy Smith, who we know is a tutor. Tina Gordon, she's wrote many times in the comments and the debate regarding this. She's a tutor. She's one of them that applied to be a head coach of a national team. Scott Wallace, he was the head coach of the juniors when Pete Finbo was assistant. Alan Carron from the Rhinos, Ian Laker, and Louise Sugden. Now, considering the grading of coaching levels, level 1 is assistant, level 2 is head, and level 3 is
Bollocks.
It is what it is.
To be fair.
But how many of them level 3 names that I've just read out have been a head coach of one of our national teams? One.
Laker.
2. That's it. 2. Tina was assistant coach with the women for 6 years. She's never been a head coach. Ian Laker coached with Stevie Kane, the women, and obviously Scott Wallace coached the juniors. That's it in the stage 3. Now, we wanted to identify something we knew was happening. And here it is. The pass rate, or the question was, not that one, just a sec.
So the pass rate, I reckon the pass rate should be around about 65% of passes.
For what, level 1?
Well, level 1 is automatic pass because it's just like getting into the game. That's why your system. At level 2, it's probably around about 65%.
Well, the question we asked was coaching qualification. When did you pass it? The options were: did you pass first time, second time, multiple attempts, or failed and never tried again?
They've got to have some multiple attempts in there, surely. 65, 75, 65% would have had to go, would have passed first time, and then we go again.
Right. The pass rate for passed first time was 100%.
Say that again?
100%.
How does that work? How can 100% pass?
So basically, if you do the coaching course, you pass. Now, if you'd have read the comments in the chat on the debate or on the poll situation regarding this, I put up the fact that when I did my coaching level 2 award in Manchester, Paul McKillop from Ireland was there, and a few others. I mean, there was a lady there. She hadn't a clue. It was a 2-day course, Saturday and Sunday. And on the Saturday lunchtime, I had lunch with John Staten, who was the tutor for the course. And I said to John, what chances have I got of passing this? And John said, everyone passes because you've paid.
So you're a fake coach then?
How can I be a fake coach? I've got the award. I've got my license.
Oh, God. That is just ridiculous. It's like a driving test. You pay for your driving test, so that means everybody passes. No, it doesn't work like that. And it shouldn't work like that. So the system is broken. If everybody's passing, the system is broken.
Well, in the chat regarding that, when I posted that in the chat, Sue Conroy wrote, Johnny, that's madness, honestly. I tutored along with Mo Hamilton many years ago. I know we failed people on level 2, so they had to resit it. My mind is blown by this information. Well, it's true.
It's true. The poll says it's Brighton front there, 100%. And how many people was that in the poll? Was it quite a few?
41 votes. 41 people, 100%.
Man. And that's the state of our coaching. Because like I said, I passed mine 2005, I think 2004, 2005. It was a 5-day course every day, 6 hours a day in Birmingham. I remember I done it with Fred, and it was tough. And we had to, at the end, we had to take our own training session and all of those sort of things. But what's interesting about this is that obviously I coached internationally, and then I decided to go and coach club basketball professionally in Germany, and put it in this statistic. I just won the gold medal for the Euros, 2013 Euros gold.
Yeah.
I goes to Germany, settles in there. About 4 weeks into pre-season, gets an email. Welcome me to obviously the country, and you're coaching. We've seen that you've got level 2 coaching. We've seen that. But because you're coaching in Germany, you only have a provisional until you take our course. Now I'm like mind blown. I'm like, what do you mean take the course? I don't need to take a course. I've passed. I am a level 2. Well, that's not good enough. They wanted me to go through their course, which eventually I decided, right, the only way I could carry on coaching, because I could coach, but I wasn't put down as the head coach. One of my assistants was the head coach. So I took the course, went on the course. It was lasted about 4 months, actually, like every other weekend for 4 months. And it was
In Germany, this.
in Germany, yeah. So went through that for ages. I think it was like I started in somewhere like July and ended up finishing somewhere like in October, and then they rubber stamped it, and it wasn't like it is in England. It was rubber stamped for 3 years, and then you go on a refresher in 3 years' time, just in case there's new stuff that's available.
Yeah.
Whereas in England, there's no refresher, is there? So
Exactly. Once you've got it, that's it. You're done.
when did you pass yours?
2013.
So you passed yours in 2013. We're out of the game until 2023. So that's 10 years out of the game.
Yeah.
And how did you get your course? How did you get your coaching badge back?
I wrote to B.W.B., became a member, and said, and the application for my membership says, what do you want to be? What are you applying for? And I said, a coach. So I paid for it. That was it.
And you're allowed to coach again.
I had to send proof of me level 2. Then I had to do the safeguard, and then I had to do
Yeah. But
that's it.
But you could coach again.
Yeah.
10 years out of the game, no refresher, just in case there's new things that go in the game. Also, you've done a safeguarding course. There's no, like you've done that online, which is fair enough. Lots are doing online just because of what happened in COVID. But you didn't actually go in a classroom with anybody or on the court to see if you can actually still coach, or if your stuff is way outdated, or if you needed to update. Then that's ridiculous.
Yeah, it is.
Because you got people that may have coached in 1978. They got a level 2, and now they could come back and coach now without any refresher.
Well, regarding that,
Is that because you'd have to do it free?
must be. Nothing's
Come
free in
on.
the world. Nothing's free in the world we live in today, is it?
Not if it's at that place.
Exactly. But regarding what you've said about Germany and them doing a refresher course, one of the comments that came up in one of the posts on Facebook was from our top fan, Keys Bergman. Proper handlebar mustache. He's a legend, this guy. He wrote to us saying, I did follow a coaching course in the Netherlands some 40 years ago, but I guess you're not interested in that. So we replied and said, of course we are. Tell us about it. So he said, it was a 20-day course on Saturdays provided by the Dutch Basketball Netherlands. Teachers were first National League coaches, men and women, first-class referees and such. The lessons about rules, exercises, tactics, techniques, and your own abilities. Well, if that was somewhat... How long ago did I say he said it? 40 years ago, 20 years ago.
20 years ago.
That sounds more advanced than what we're having now.
Well, what we're having now is you turn up and they pass. They don't actually know how to coach. They probably don't even know how to run a session, to be fair.
Exactly.
They probably don't even know how to run a session, but I'll tell you what they do know how to. Go into schools and make money. That's what they do. You don't need to know how to run a session to do that. So, yeah, it's disturbing to say the least.
It is. Disturbing is probably an understatement, to be honest.
And like I said, I'm not really sure what the point is level 3. Is it just a case of just having a number on your resume? Because you could do everything that you do with a level 3, you could do with a level 2.
Let me put this up then. Part of one of Tina Gordon's long, detailed replies was, level one coaches are often level one coaches often come with different levels of wheelchair basketball experience and confidence levels. The tutors differentiate and support the new coaches throughout the course, ready for assessment, which assesses competency, in brackets, competent or not competent. Well, if that statement doesn't align with 100% pass rate on the courses, level one or level two, it means everybody's competent, which I find hard to believe.
Yeah, I don't find it hard to believe on level one because everybody should be competent because you're going into level one. You're not in charge of anybody. It's just a piece of paper to say you got a level one so you can go to level two. But there's no way everybody's competent in level two. No way.
Tina went on to say, wording is interesting, and rather than being binary pass or fail, coaching education and training assesses competency. Tutors assess whether a candidate is competent or not yet competent. Where candidates are deemed not yet competent, they are given feedback on specific areas to work on, advised to go back to the club, work on those areas under the mentoring of a component in level two or above coach, and be reassessed when they're ready.
But what if the tutors are not competent?
Well, that's my next point. I've no problem. I've no personal problem with the people who are tutors. We know a lot of them. A lot of women. Know several women. The funny thing I say is they don't have vast experience in the game. And if they're only delivering in these courses a syllabus that they've been given, which was written, a written syllabus to deliver at these courses, then it's failing. It can't just be like that. We've got to be delivering how to read who's hurting you in a stat sheet. We've got to be delivering how to read game footage. Because games are being streamed live more and more now. Lower division league games. This is effective coaching.
Yeah, it's game coaching, basically. Game scouting. Those are the two main key areas. Game coaching, game scouting. But even if you look at international level as well, it's the point system. Because you can clearly see some of the coaches who are meant to be thoroughbred coaches don't even know their own point system. Because somebody gets in foul trouble, they're like looking around, what do I do? What do I do? Who? Do you know what I mean? Those are all the points that need addressing.
Yeah.
At the coaches level two. But you know what happen is they'll get a level four and do that in level four, which it doesn't make any sense.
I honestly think, this is my opinion, but I honestly think the level of basketball in our country is low because the coaching level's low. And once we raise the coaching bar, then the players will develop better. And right now, it's not happening. And we're getting the odd diamond in the rough every now and again. And soon as that diamond starts to shine, they're overseas. And that's just killing the game in this country. It's just below par. How long will it be before we have a British team in the Champions Cup Final Four again? The only way they're going to do it is by buying a place in the Final Four, like as a host, because that's how that is corrupt as well. But we got feedback in the chat from Pauline Bull, which went on to say, following on from Sarah's comment, I remember doing a sped up version of the level one course years ago by Hadj. It was literally about 1 hour in a classroom. We had to complete it for our TASS funding.
TASS.
Yeah. It's rather concerning. I've put the message up so you can read the other paragraph, but at the bottom it says it's rather concerning that the information as simple as knowing who has and hasn't completed the courses hasn't been kept track of over the years.
You don't really need to keep track of it if everybody passes. So
that's the problem. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's easy, isn't it?
Yeah, but the issue was in the I missed the middle paragraph. A couple of years ago, she was at the finals, and the association tried to argue that she wasn't allowed to sit on the bench as an assistant coach because they had no record that she completed the course.
Yeah, but they're doing the courses. So where's all these records gone? Do they do anything in that place?
I don't know.
Right.
But it's like you said. How could they remove someone from the bench for not having a qualification?
Yeah. I don't know. It's a strange one. Like, she's been on the bench all season as well. And then you're going to come to the finals and then you're going to say, oh, you can't be on the bench.
A really strange one. So this message, what's up now? This was posted by Tina Gordon. I couldn't get her name in the corner because it was halfway down one of the posts she put. But at the bottom it says, I guess the misperception was that the Level 3 Coach Award was only for coaches who had aspirations to coach internationally. This wasn't the case. However, several Level 3 UK coaches either have or are coaching internationally. Several are coaching within the National League and several are tutors.
Just in case you want to know what I was laughing at, he couldn't get the word out. So he might have cut it out, but I'm going to tell you, he just couldn't get the p. He had a little bit of a stutter. That's what I was laughing at. Go ahead.
Editing stuff out as if I would. I don't mind my mistakes. What are you trying to belittle me for, life? The word was perception, I can say it. Not bad.
Oh, God. Oh, this show is so funny. It makes me laugh.
This one's an interesting one from Jamie Hamilton. He goes on to say, Level 1, useful for absolute beginners who don't know how to show someone else how to dribble or ball or pass it. Level 2, slightly better, but no game coaching taught, no teaching on the gameplay or how to cope with different scenarios. After I started coaching a team, I used my game experience, not what I was taught on these courses. Level 3 and Level 4, no idea, didn't do them. But I have to say, I did my courses over 25 years ago, so I guess I'm hoping that they have developed since then. No longer coaching as I don't have time. But let me tell you this. Part of that is exactly where we're at right now. There's a difference between experience and qualifications.
At the moment, we've got a lot of people who have qualifications.
Yeah.
But we don't have a lot that have the experience.
It's the same in society we work. There's more people with qualifications getting these jobs where there's people with experience that could do a far better job. And it's a sad case because right now, in between experience and qualifications, there's this middle ground where we're developing this imposter syndrome. It's sickening. Sickening. But then I've got a last one. This is from Jack Schofield. I've played basketball since I was 10, I think. I am currently 22. My university paid course fee for me to do the Level 1. And to be honest, it was a waste of time. We had to do a risk assessment of the court where I think one of the answers is said, make sure no explosives are on site.
Were they doing it in fucking Beirut?
He goes on to say, it doesn't do anything related to how to be an assistant coach or plan a session in regards to the paperwork. The bit that was good was the in-person day. But even then, we didn't get guidance, and the players that had only played a short period of time really struggled. The Level 1 doesn't teach you anything of us in practical coaching. It needs a total revamp in how and why it's taught. I'm going to do my Level 2 in the next year or so because I require the education bit because it ticks a box and allows me to formally coach and sit on the bench. In addition to anyone, in addition to that, anyone can do a Level 1 coaching course at any time. This meant that we have complete beginners being more qualified than veterans of the game. And due to this qualification, they can suddenly sit on the bench. It's honestly quite baffling. Well, that is baffling. It is, because once again, we're talking about qualification over experience. Sick.
Yeah, but the thing is, the qualification is just turn up and get the piece of paper. And that allows you to sit on a bench. It doesn't make sense at all.
Yeah. But To finish off this topic, let me tell you this. One of the key factors in the coaching levels in this country being so bad is because the syllabus of it is piss poor, and the tutors are overvalued. And by that, what I mean is, I don't think they have the experience to deliver a course. I don't think they.
Well, I think they're just delivering what they've been delivered to.
That's what I'm saying. They've got a.
Do you know what I mean?
They've got a syllabus. I've got to do this in section 1, section 2, section 3. That's fine, but that's not coaching. That's not coaching.
And I think, the level 1 should be like that, like this. But level 2 is the tactics, the game level, and all of those sorts. Because if you think about it, even in level 3, they don't go into that.
Listen, if I had time, would I do level 3? No. Would I do level 4, 5, 6? No. Because if I only need level 2 to be a head coach, I wouldn't do any more. I'd sit in front of the laptop and watch footage after footage, learn why the Dutch do this, why the Germans do that, why Ilunion do this, why Istanbul do that.
But the thing is, John, it's not just in wheelchair basketball, it's in basketball in general, because I've got coaches, they've got level 2, and I really don't know how they got it. I'm a mentor of their coaches, and I'm like mystified how they got it, because they don't understand the game. They just do drills. No matter what they do a drill, no matter what kids they got. You know what I mean? And they're like, and some of these are coaching at academies, yeah. And they found a system that they found in America, and they play that system. No matter what players they've got, even if they haven't got the players to play that system, they're still going to play that system because they're just textbook coaches. That's what I call them. They don't learn.
That's the great way to put it. Textbook coaches.
Yeah, they don't learn. They don't learn because if you think about GB, yeah, we have a 4-year cycle. Then after that 4-year cycle, you have new players coming, so you have to teach them again.
Yeah.
Whereas at schools and academies, it's like 2-year cycles, and you got to teach again. But does that mean what you've done in the first 2 years, all the sets that you ran, all the plays are going to work in the next 2 years? No, because you're going to get a different quality of player. And if you put it into GBs with us in GB, because we were in it for quite a long time, weren't we?
Yeah.
How many different systems did we go through? But we went through those systems because of what players that we had.
Yeah.
Now look at the GB of now. What's their system? Tell me what they play. What sort of system do they play? And is it the right system for the players that we've got?
Well, my theory on basketball, especially in offense, the ball always goes through the point because that's how you drag the help, right? And GB men have established this skip pass from wing to wing, which totally removes the point situation out. I just don't get it.
Yeah, but is the reason they're doing that is because they don't have a true point guard?
No, because go back to the Dutch, right? The Dutch had attacked. Van der Linden would go down one side, right?
Yep.
Well, he knows he's got Koen Janssens as a bailout on the other. So he attacks the opposite side. He's dragging all the defense over, right? That had logic, right? Go to Canada back in the mid-2000s. Pat Anderson would attack the left, for example, knowing Joey Johnson's on the right, trying to get curled in or whatever. If the help came down from the point, you had Ken Hall there.
Now,
bottom of the net.
But now you're getting to what I'm saying. Do they skip the ball because they don't have anybody at the point that can do anything, can make that shot at the point?
I honestly think
that's the reason. That's what I'm saying. So it's kind of a system, but what happens is when that system breaks down, they don't have another system. And I don't think it's as effective with the team that they got. I think they could be a lot more effective on what they do. Yeah. And the same with the same with the girls. The wrong people are handling the basketball.
No, the girls is a totally different.
Yeah, but the wrong people are handling the basketball.
Yeah, the wrong people are handling the basketball. Yeah, They don't have roles.
So they don't actually know what they're doing. They're just playing. They don't know what they're doing. And that's what I'm saying. That's by coaching. You look at what you've got and then you coach for what you've got.
Yeah.
You know, you're not going to say the girls are a 3-point shooting team, because that's what I had 4 years ago or 5 years ago. Yep.
Yeah.
But that's exactly what they seem to do. There's no, and this is about coaching, is you have to recognize who's playing for you, what your team strengths are, and use them. But they don't. They don't.
Well, I've been editing all the Paralympic footage for our channel. And at the moment, I'm cutting out the timeouts. But when I've done the GB games, if the camera's gone to a GB timeout, I've watched. Now, I've nearly completed all the women's games. I can tell you this. Never in one GB women's timeout did he hear a coach say, you're turning down the correct shot. But it happened the whole tournament. How many times did we watch a game and say, why has she not took that shot? Why has she not took that shot? Then we end up with a burp up. And it was never pointed out in any timeout at the women's game. So what are these coaches watching or learning?
Yeah, and the other is the defensive strategy in the game. The ball's on one side, the weak side that should be helped. They're so far away from the game. Yeah. There's no chance for them to help, but it wasn't corrected. Now, if those coaches have got video sessions, you clearly can see that. We saw it as bold as brass, and it went through the whole tournament. But, like, you know, that's what I'm talking about with coaching. We just have textbook coaches. Yeah, they've coached out of a book. It's like they pick these guys up outside the street. And most, you know, in Spain, that's what they bloody do. Yeah. They find some guy who's interested in basketball. Oh, yeah, let's make him head coach. How the hell do they pass their exams? I have no idea if they do.
One of the things I think the coach... Well, I'll get to that in the debate. I'll come back to that in the debate. But
let's come back to it. We'll come back to it in the debate. Because, you know, we'll come back to it. Well,
that's where we're at. The system's broke.
And it needs fixing.
Drastically. If you want basketball in our country to go to the next level, it starts with developing the coaching system, because it's completely effed up. Seriously. Right. Before we go for a break, it's time
for our new segment.
It's our new feature.
Captain Scarlet. Dun, dun, dun.
Really fucking boring. Hate you all fire with your shitty stories. They've gone on forever.
As you would have just seen, that is the new intro to our new Mark Young, aka Captain Scarlet feature. Every episode from now on, myself and Sinclair are going to deliver a Mark Young quote. This is because during the Paralympics, he turned up in the live chat, and I have never
laughed so much.
I swear to God, this guy is so far off the planet, it's untrue. So this is a new segment to the show designated
to Captain Scarlet.
Correct. So would you like to go first, Sinclair, or would you like to go second?
I'll go first.
Okay.
Mark Young can kill 2 stones with 1 bird. Oh, God, this guy is so funny. You just couldn't believe what he was saying.
Yeah, he was absolutely bonkers.
All right. Would you like to have your quote of the day?
Yep. Mine would be, Mark Young once went to a game where his team never turned up, and he still won. And there'll be more of Mark Young on the next episode of the Delinquents Show.
Anyway, people, guess what? It's the Da Vinci break. And, hey, we have given you a better sound for this, because we absolutely hated this music that was going with the advert. It didn't do the advert justice, but we do think our new take for the new season 3 will be absolutely perfect. Remember, if you need anything, contact Da Vinci. See you in part 2. Yeah, no. Hey, John. There's a couple of guys outside with hoods on their heads.
They got holes in the pillowcases.
All right. Yeah. Shall I call the police?
They're not part of that 3-lettered clan, are they?
I don't know. Hello?
You know who the 3-lettered clan is, don't you?
Who?
The B.W.B.
Oh. All right, must be them. It's all right. No problem. I'll just ask Mark Young if he knows anything about it. Okay. Thanks very much. Bye. Yo, and welcome to part 2 of the season 3 of the Delinquent Show. I hope you liked our new advert with Da Vinci wheelchairs.
Wait. Do you know where that song's from?
You told me to wait.
Yeah, I said, do you know where that song's from? Off the ad break.
I don't know. Where did you get it from?
It's the theme. It was the theme tune to the Sydney Paralympics.
Ah.
Absolutely everyone. Yeah.
Absolutely. Something I really wanted to know. God almighty. I thought it was something interesting.
No, I just come up in the producer's notes.
Yeah. Your producer's notes, not on my notes. But anyway, guess what's back? Dun, dun, dun. It's JP News Round. Go,
By popular
JP.
demand, it's back. JP's News Round. Glad the Cobra meeting delivered it to me and not you. But if you don't turn up, you don't get in.
I don't actually know what's in JP's News Round because he keeps this. This is really tight under wraps. Not even I can know. Go.
Yeah. In the news round today, first of all, people writing in asking what's happening with the national teams. There's a silence. Do you know why things are quiet at the association office?
It's possible they could have their hands full with a few things. Very possible.
I think you could be right.
And it could be something to do with us.
It
I don't
could
really know.
It could be to do with MPs being involved, integrity people being involved. But even though these kind of people are involved, they still should be letting the public know what's happening with the national teams. We're talking, we're months away from the Europeans for the men and women, which is a qualifying tournament for the Worlds, in case they didn't realise. It's the World Juniors next year.
Well, I believe they're waiting to see what funding they're going to get because they'll get to know in December. The funding will be announced in December what they get. And I think they are absolutely cacking themselves on what they're going to get because they didn't produce the goods at the Paralympics as they promised. And they did give, well, they chucked the kitchen sink at the women's team, didn't they? Absolutely chucked the kitchen sink at the women's team with money and tournaments and everything like that. Yeah. And they got exactly the same place they've had the last 4 years ago. So I don't think that's I think that may be on their mind what they're going to do. Like you don't know what's happening with the coaches
Well,
or
I can
the
tell you this.
camps.
The women got a buy regarding the national lottery funding during Tokyo simply because of the COVID. There's no buy this time. And if there's no buy, going off what they've delivered and where they finished, I honestly don't think they're going to have enough funding to continue the WPL.
Well,
And they're going to have to justify why they spent so much on that system.
but they'll definitely get it till March because obviously the funding, they get to know what their new funding is that starts in April. So the WPL will still be there. Why? I don't really know why it's still there because most of our best players are not actually in it.
Jade Atkins in America, Joy Hazelden's in America. I don't know where Sophie Carrigal is, whether she stayed in Italy or not. Charlotte Moore's at Ilunion. Helen Freeman's at Puy or whatever in France. I think someone said Laurie Williams is at Vicenza in Italy. I imagine if Laurie's gone, so was Robin.
So it's probably a very poor state of affairs. The Women's Premier League is very poor state of affairs, which is probably.
But the interesting fact
going to be the last year.
3 of them names: Sophie Carrigal, Robin Love, and Laurie Williams. They were the only 3 women that voted for the WPL, and now they're not featuring in it. If it's true they've gone overseas.
Yeah. So I think there's a lot of discussions that they're having. Like, if it was you, what would you do with the coaching teams that they've had?
Well, regarding the women's, I'd get rid of him. I'm nothing against the guy. I don't know him. I just know he's at his depth. It was visible at the Europeans. He's out of his depth. He's a club coach at best. He's not an international coach. You can't read that tournament structure. You can't read basketball, really.
Right.
If I own my own club, I wouldn't have him at my club.
Well, that answers what I was going to ask you. If you had your own club, would you hire him? And what about the men's? Because they got to the gold medal game.
Yeah, but they got to the gold medal before the tip-off of the first game because it was destined.
Yeah.
It's been the last World Championship final.
And then
the others are so far behind in that race. Look at it this way. GB men played Germany in the open game of the Paris Paralympics and won by 30 plus. And did exactly the same in the semi against Germany.
Yeah.
Which eventually won the bronze medal. So we're talking, there's a 30 plus difference between a bronze medal and a silver right now.
So would you, this is a good question in your roundup. Would you have a full-time coach for the men and the women?
Yeah.
I definitely think so, because then that coach can, start watching games. Because
I think what has to develop is you have to have the men's and the women's coach based here all year round, and during league games they have to go and scout themselves, because there's got to be players that are not getting a look in. Who's doing the scouting? Who makes the decision that person's ready to go from the juniors to the seniors? Who's in the seniors that wasn't in the juniors? Is that the only path through if you're a junior into the senior? What about these people that, have had accidents beyond the junior age?
The middle people. The people in the middle. Yeah.
Yeah. There's no pathway for them. It has to change. There has to be a coach from the men and the women based here. We've got to have regular camps.
But I think on those regular camps, you can actually upgrade the coaches as well, because I remember our regular camps, we always used to invite different coaches.
Yeah.
To come and have a look and come and coach and see what they are like and what they need to get to this level. And I thought that was always great. But we don't have that now.
So that's national team silence. What is going on? We haven't a clue. We've tried. We've tried and tried. Moving on, news round. Juniors plan for Brazil.
Well, I don't know if there is a plan at the moment, but I tell you what, it's going to be a tough ask for them to get the gold medal, because I think Brazil are not going to host the tournament if they don't think they can win it. The USA are going to be tough. You know, they've got a Hall of Famer, uh, probably the most decorated Paralympic coach of all time as an assistant. So that's really good.
Yeah,
So,
Ron Likens.
Yeah, so
coach the men, coach the women first, then the men, and now he's assistant to Scott Mayer.
And the other teams that might improve going into it, you know, Germany probably can improve. You know, there's lots that can improve. The thing that is worrying me, because when you look at the makeups of the group, so we've got 5 Europeans for this Brazil, haven't we?
Yeah, we've got for the Worlds, Junior Worlds in Brazil next year. There's 5 European teams. Obviously, we've already had our qualification. Great Britain, Germany, Turkey, Italy, and Israel. They're already in. Then we've got 3 teams from Asia, Oceania zone. 3 from the Americas zone, but obviously only 2 will qualify because the host is in Americas zone, which is Brazil. And 1 from Africa.
See, that's a disgrace.
Yeah.
There's got to be at least 2. You know what I mean? You get to a final of your conference and you're not even going to guaranteed to go to the World Championships.
Yeah.
Just get rid of one of the European teams. You don't need 5 European teams, or make it a bigger tournament.
Italy and Israel. If you go off what we saw of them in the Europeans this year, the Junior Europeans, I can't see there being a vast difference between either of the 2 finalists in Africa or Italy and Israel. I can't see there being a vast difference.
Yeah, so they should have, at worst, it should have been only 4 European teams, the 4 semi-finalists. Get 2 African, which is the 2 finalists, and obviously the Americas, and then the Asia.
Yeah,
I think that's going to be good.
I totally agree. Because also, looking at the bigger picture, the way the new Senior World Championship structure is, looking at how the new Paralympic structure was this year with 8 teams, this is the only chance for Africa
to get on the world stage.
Yeah. Which is disgusting.
To get on the world stage, it needs looking at. So, what's next on the old JP's news round?
Well, we've also got several messages hit our inbox regarding players going overseas. There was a post, as you can see now on your screen, by RSV Landil welcoming Finlay. The Scot is only 18 years old, but we see an enormous amount of potential in him and is curious to see how he develops with us. Well, people have wrote in and said, how are we meant to strengthen the league if we're losing all our best players, our young players? We're talking.
You're not going to strengthen the league because the league is broken.
We've got 6 different messages regarding this.
The league is broken. There's no structure to the league. There's no nothing. You're going to keep losing these players. Now, do I think it's right Finlay goes? Yes and no. Yes, he's going to get training every day. Good quality training. He's training with great players. The no is the match. How many matches is he going to play and be involved in? Because that's what it's all about, match practice. He needs match practice at his age to get in, you know, to be playing in a team, which he probably could have done in Lothian and playing in it and playing week in, week out. But what do you expect when our league is rubbish? Yeah. There's no results, there's no schedule, there's no nothing. There's nothing.
Well, regarding that, people would have seen our new rebound. We did put in the rebound. There's nothing more we would have liked than to add a current league standings, game results section, like Gordon Perry used to do in the rebound.
And a schedule, so we can go and watch games.
And a schedule. The problem we can't is because not even your own national governing body have put up a schedule. So think about the last bit we spoke about, having a national team coach based here. How can he go and watch league games and scout for new players? Because there's no calendar of games official posted that you could go and say, oh, look who's playing today, I'm going to go and watch that.
And I think we're the only team in the whole world that doesn't have that. If you look at Germany, it's set in stone. Spain, set in stone. Italy, set in stone. Even America is set in stone. They know their schedule. We don't have nothing. So
You do know why that is, don't you? You do know why that is.
I don't know. Go on.
Spain, Italy, France, Germany, Holland, America, all them. Why it's set in stone and we're not is simple. Because we're the national leading governing body.
So we don't have to. We don't need to.
We're the leading.
We're the leaders. Yeah, but that's that whole problem, isn't it? If I wanted to go and watch a wheelchair basketball game with like a sponsor, I say, "Oh, I know this team. I don't know where it is," and then we'll get to that later down because there's other bits in your, I'm sure, in your news round that we can speak about. What's next? What's next, brother?
Next, this is 2 overseas big news. First one is Michael Engel ends his relationship with the German men national team after meddling for the first time in 32 years.
Very clever ploy. I think he's thinking that he can't go any further. That's as best as he can get.
I don't think it's that. I honestly think he's got them a medal for the first time since Barcelona 1992. Right, let's make a career in the sport. I got Germany to a medal. Let's go and see what other wage I can get club level now. The door's open. The door's open for him.
Mm.
He's a messiah of the coaching world now because he got the Germans to a medal.
Yeah, you might be right. You might be right.
It has to be that.
That means there's a spot open in Germany.
Exactly.
Woo-hoo.
Now, talking of messiahs, have a look at this one. The next one is my hero, my guy, Van der Linden, to leave the Orange Women.
Oh, nice. I thought I was your hero. I was your guy.
My nemesis, not my hero.
Stick that up your pipe, lad.
Van der Linden has took up a directing role over the Italian men's team, but he will also overlook the Italian women and the Italian juniors.
How much was that a shot out of the dark?
That went public the day before the tip-off in Paris.
Yeah, I think he just probably needed a new challenge. He's done everything that he could possibly do. Worlds, Olympics, Euros.
He created a dynasty.
He created a dynasty.
What is there after a dynasty? That's
build another dynasty somewhere else.
I think it's a great move by him to keep his mind fresh in the game. If he rebuilds Italy and they become dominant, he'll go down as the greatest ever.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. Definitely.
That's how his mind must work.
Definitely. But good luck with your new adventure, Sir Gert.
I'm just glad he's staying in the game because I studied him as a player. The guy is an absolute mastermind of the game. Jesus.
Jesus.
Here we go. Last week on Sky Sports
Live,
the Rugby League final was on. Wheelchair Rugby League final. Not a Paralympic sport, a sport dominated by able-bodied players.
But
was live on Sky Sports.
But you have to give credit where credit is due. Whoever masterminded to getting that on Sky Sports, and it's not the first time. It's like it looks like it's a regular feature.
No, they've also been live on BBC, not through the red button or anything. I'm on about the main channels. They've done BBC.
It is a masterstroke. Yeah. It's an absolute masterstroke. Could you imagine how much sponsors they've pulled in? And it's a non-Paralympic sport.
Yeah. And the star players at the end of a game get out, go and pick the kids up and walk around the crowd because they're able-bodied.
Unbelievable, but props to you guys. Well done. Well done for getting that.
I just can't believe we're getting left Wheelchair basketball is in the shadows of wheelchair rugby league. It's embarrassing, that. Embarrassing. Right. This next one is going to be news to you, Saint. You don't know about this. You don't know what I've done. I've acted on my own accord.
Is that another Cobra meeting you done on your own?
It is.
Go ahead. What have you done now?
This one is a big one. So as you will see on your screens, this glass plaque was posted by Wheel Power. And it was involving the new name added to it. Terry Bywater was inducted to Wheel Power's Hall of Fame. Now, first of all, I wrote to them because I asked Martin McAlatten in a message when I wrote to him, aren't you meant to induct someone once they retire?
That's what I was just about to say. Terry's still playing unless we don't. Is there a secret that we don't know about?
Well, I don't know. As Terry called 7 is final, or is he going for 8? I don't know. But if I was to go off Wheel Power inducting him, I'd honestly say he's done, because you don't induct when someone's still playing. It's never happened in any Hall of Fame. It doesn't. That's not the rule of Hall of Fame.
Do you think they just jumped on the bandwagon?
But maybe.
Oh, that's not too bad what you've done.
Well,
don't tell me there's more.
Yeah, there's more. So when I looked at the Hall of Fame,
Lord,
it says honouring the people who have made the outstanding contribution to wheelchair sport. And some big names in there. Ludwig Gutmann, Sir Philip Craven, Baroness Tanny Gray Thompson, Kaz Walton, another Hall of Famer of ours, Simon Munn, another Hall of Famer of ours, and Terry Bywater. So Terry and Simon have got in the Hall of Fame for a contribution of 7 Paralympics. And then at the bottom, they have a Stoke Mandeville Games Roll of Honour. And there's certain names in that have relations with basketball. Terry Willett, George Ginger Swindlehurst, probably a few others. But when I looked at it, something stood out. So in my message to Martin McAlatten, I asked him, how do you nominate someone to be inducted into your Hall of Fame? Because I'd like to nominate 2 people. The first I'd like to nominate was Gordon Perry. What he's done for wheelchair basketball, what he's done for wheelchair sports, getting the London Marathon to accept the wheelchair race part, was all down to Gordon Perry. He should be honoured. So I asked Martin, and then I went on to ask Martin another bit. Could I nominate you?
What? What do you mean?
Yeah.
What for?
We've had Nigel Smith, who was an assistant coach of GB men that medalled in 2004, Athens, when he was assistant to Dave Titmus. And obviously in 96, he won a medal. He won a silver. But we've never had somebody play the game and medal and head coach the game to a medal at a Paralympics. Because when Murray left in Beijing, you took over and led the team to the bronze against USA. But at the same time, the reason I nominated you was to ask Martin this question. Why is there no black people, no Asian people in the Hall of Fame? It's a white club. I just didn't get it.
Oh, John.
Now, let me tell you this.
Before you tell me that.
I sent Martin McAlatten, who's high up with Wheel Power, the message.
CEO. He's the CEO.
I've still not heard back from him.
But there's others that should be in there probably. It's nice that you thought of me, but Giant Mystery, he took tennis out of the stratosphere. Without him, the likes of Gordon Reed and that won't be doing what they're doing right now. Stevie Kane. It's just, the list goes on. The list goes on.
George Iratney was a key figure in GB making silver in Atlanta. At the same time, that was the start of us being able to get lottery funding where we are today.
Yeah.
The 96 put the groundwork into where we are today. Stevie Kane, absolute legend, what he's given the sport. You know, you remember back to the Big Eight, where he said he'd signed for Bradford Bears, who were in a lower division, because his theory was, if all the top players stay at the top clubs, how does the grassroots ever develop? So he went playing lower division basketball.
But there's others. There's other famous Paralympian, black, Asian. You know, the table tennis guy. What was his name? Was it Ernie Chan? I think it was, from Liverpool. Who played table tennis, but it looks like it's just a white club.
I don't know.
Which is very embarrassing.
What was disappointing was Martin read the message and didn't even have the gonads to write back to me.
Because they don't have an answer.
And the part of the reason I wrote to him was, when I went on that wrong turn, drive of death, to go and pick George Ginger Swindlehurst's memorabilia up from his last family member alive, who wanted to donate it to the Paralympic Heritage, I went and picked it up. And I got it to Martin Matalatin under instructions. Once you put the memorabilia up, send me pictures so I can send them to his family. I still haven't got them. So that was part of the message. Just unbelievable. Unbelievable wheel power. As it stands right now, if you don't make a 7 Paralympics, you're not getting in the Hall of Fame.
So should it be called white power instead of willpower?
Yeah, must be. But at the same time, even some white names are missing. And wow, what she gave to GB basketball and still giving to British basketball. Colin Price. Can't believe it. Colin Price. Unbelievable. So I don't know what's happening down there, but
interesting.
To say I'm totally disgusted with them is an understatement. And I can say that because I say what I like.
When you like. Well, thank you for that nomination, lad. I don't think it was going to do any difference at White Power, because that's what they're going to be called from now on, instead of willpower.
Mm.
But have you got anything else?
Yeah. 2 more. Oh, God. Gets worse. We've had this one sent in. People have said this. If you look at the post by British Wheelchair Basketball regarding the GB Roundup, one went out the other day on the 28th of October. You can see it on your screens now. At home in the National League, Jaguars Lucy Robinson and Lewis Edwards won 38-37 on the road against Lothian Phoenix. London Titans, Jack Perry and Jude Hammer, goes on to say, against Reading Rockets. In Germany, Rhine River Rhinos, Jim Palmer. In USA, Joy Hazelden and Jade Atkin. In Spain, Bilbao, James McSorley. In Murcia, Lee Fryer and Peter Cusack. In Ilunion, Spain, Greg Warburton, Terry Bywater, Charlotte Moore. In Albacete, Simon Brown, Ben Fox, Phil Pratt. Their results, what happened in their games. This is our national governing body of British wheelchair basketball.
The world's leaders.
The world's leaders. What's happening in Division 3 roundup? What's happening in Division 2 roundup? What's happening in Division 1 or the Women's League?
What's just happening in British basketball? I don't care about foreign basketball. All I care about is British basketball. Let's get ourselves a schedule. Let's get ourselves a tables. Let's get ourselves some results. We do not care, and your members who are paying you to do this don't care about what's going on overseas. Because if you look at overseas, you don't see them promoting other leagues. They promote their own.
Well, someone wrote in, someone inboxed us and actually said, is the GB Roundup not the passport to sending our youth overseas?
Of course it is.
Because all we're doing is writing up of what players are doing over abroad. We've still not heard back from Ellen Freeman, who's playing in France. Laurie Williams, we think, is in Italy. Lee Manning is in Turkey. So are they Is the French league going to get added to the GB roundup? Is the Turkish league going to get added to the GB round? That's a joke. An absolute joke.
It should be all about our teams here.
Exactly.
Support and sponsor, support and our teams here.
Absolutely. And the final one, as you would have seen, there was the sad passing of Dikembe Mutombo in the NBA basketball. This was sad.
What a legend. What a
What a
legend.
guy. What a guy.
He is the greatest shot blocker the NBA has ever seen.
Yeah, he was a character.
The
And
greatest.
he played in the Jordan era. You know.
Yep. Definitely the greatest shot blocker. My memory of him when he blocked 4 shots in one offense. Unbelievable guy. Unbelievable cat.
My memory is watching that on Netflix at the minute, the Last Dance. And at the All-Star game, he says, while they're getting their ankles strapped up, he says to Jordan, why have you never dunked on me? And Jordan says, I have. He says, you've not. You've never dunked on me. So about 3 games later, Jordan gets that moment, dunks on him. And as he's running back to defense, Jordan wags the finger. The crowd go wild. Jordan got him, like he said he would. The crazy thing was, Jordan got a T for waving the finger at Mutombo.
Ooh, that was his signature, wasn't it? Signature move.
It.
But rest in peace, brother. He done great stuff for the world of basketball, especially in Africa. Just an amazing ambassador to the sport.
Yeah, he was.
Rest easy, brother.
And finally, we are on the debate. The debate of national team coaching, weekend scouting, having a plan, coaching levels, discussion, everything we put in the debate on Facebook. Well, there's certain feedbacks that we got that we wanted to share with you because we thought they were really interesting. If I can find them, bear with me.
But while you're trying to find them, don't forget, Oldham are on a good run. Our team, Oldham, they're back in the playoff hunt. I think they're in 5th or 6th. Tony, we still got you, man. Is it promotion for you this season? That's what we want to know. Can you make it this season? And have you been? That's the main thing. Have you been this season?
So here it is. We're on. The debate. As in any sport, post a major, and the new 4-year cycle starts again. Looking back at last 2 years, with the men's national team, women's national team, and the under 23 or under 25 women. We've not heard about them, have we? Where are we at? So we put the debate out there. And some of these feedback points I've specifically picked because I found some part interesting. Sue Conroy has put, there are players in both teams that have the ability to compete in at least one more Paralympics and medal. While you only focused on the negative in your recent podcast, I believe I did see some moments of skill and teamwork. The right coaches with the correct skills to work with individuals and teams is paramount. For coaches who are members of BWB this season, there was an opportunity to get an online coaching support membership free for 12 months. I don't know how many took this up.
But who's supporting them?
I don't know.
But I know Sue said it wasn't critical what we did. We just put the stats out there. The stats say everything.
The problem with that is that message relates to when we did the Paralympic show. We did 2 clips on GB men, which was the timeout, the disastrous timeout, and the subbing of Terry when he'd only been on for 43 seconds. Regarding the women's, we did like 10 clips compared to what GB men got. The difference was there's no point clipping the men. They were winning by 33 points a game. The women, as you see,
need help.
Yeah.
That's all it's all about, is needing help, which pointing out mistakes that are happening all the time. Did they do some good things there? Yeah, of course they did some good things there. But they need help because they're clearly not getting it from their coaching staff and whoever's... you know what? Let's go back quickly. I don't even blame the coaching staff. I blame the people that put them in the charge of the team.
That's who I blame.
I don't blame the coaching staff because they've been given a job. Do you want the job? Yeah. Who would not say no? It's the people that are giving it to them. We don't have people that are qualified to do that.
Well, let me put this scenario to you, because we've brought it up recently in our mine and your chat for the people that we're working with at the minute. When we went to the meeting at their office and they said that their network was down because of the phone line in the office, or your application must have been lost during that problem with the system, that job shouldn't have been given out if they knew they were having issues.
Yeah,
that should have been resat.
Stopped.
Yeah.
But it was clearly a smokescreen.
Exactly.
It's clearly a smokescreen. My point is, it's not the coaches to blame. It's the people that putting the coaches in the positions. They're not qualified to do that.
Well,
they
actually,
have no idea about wheelchair basketball.
Sue actually says in that message, second from the bottom paragraph, there is definitely a need to overhaul the coaching qualifications and the support for current coaches, especially internally. I think this is something I.W.B.F. could look at. That's a good point. Why has I.W.B.F. never done coaching clinics?
Because I don't really know, but they do. I know they do for the technical team, because the technical team were in Prague last week, I think, doing catching up. So I think they do it for the technical team. I don't think they do it for the coaches. But yes, why shouldn't they? But come on, your own association should have it done. Get the right people to pick the team. If you're not capable of it, pick the coach, then get people who are. Get people who are.
Jamie Hamilton's wrote in, the coaches, I agree, need to go. But genuine question, how does anyone in the country get to pass all their coaching awards to stand a chance at going for these jobs? As far as I know, BWB only do level 2 coaching awards. I've been out the sport for years. So I'd like to know how to do the current crop of Premier League players get to improve if our best players play abroad. Won't this policy have detrimental effect on the quality of our players? Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, of course it does. If all your best players are playing overseas, but why would they stay here? It's a basket case of a league here.
Exactly.
It's a total basket case. Nobody knows when it's going on, and then they've asked for a job for somebody to do exactly the same as what somebody else was doing.
And unfortunately for Jamie, we can't tell you when the coaching classes are on, because we can't even tell you when the league fixtures are on, never mind when the coaching classes are on.
You know, like, you're advertising for a job for something that's already been done or should be done.
Yeah.
And we've been down this road before, and it's not changed.
Also in the comments, Johnny Barabarax, I hope I pronounced that right, has put, I think the women could possibly medal, but they need those players involved to fully commit to the process. I think a new coaching team is needed and give the girls a refresh and style of play. As for those up-and-coming players, why can't BWB have scouts, ex-GB players who have been there and done it, that have them going to games, tournaments, playoffs, looking for potential? The pathway into seniors needs to be a better standard. Well, Johnny Barabarabics or whatever, I totally agree. There is no pathway, like we've pointed out earlier in the show. There's a middle ground area where,
but there used to be a pathway, but somehow it's got broken. Not even broken, it's got smashed.
Well,
shattered.
Think about this regarding the pathway. That rule that we instigated, we pointed out a few months ago, rather. Rule 1.5.15. You can't be coaching if you can't play or coach in the National League if you're a head coach of the national team, right? That was because there was an conflict of interest. You know, if you was the coach of GB and the coach of Sheffield Steelers, people who go to Sheffield Steelers thinking they might get a better chance of playing for GB. That's how it was. That's why that rule was brought in. Well, the way it is right now, that rule's irrelevant.
Yeah, it's totally irrelevant. It's totally irrelevant, the rule. Totally irrelevant. But I think, like, to wrap it all up, is our league structure is broken. our coaching structure is broken, and it just needs reset. Just reset it from the start. Have a I don't know, a big meeting and reset it all. Simple.
And Gary Davidson put, I do hope they travel GB wide and not just Englandshire. Well, I can say in our chats with Gary and others, we had a camp. I think we had camps in Wales during our time.
We had a couple in Wales. Yeah, we had a couple in Wales.
We never had one in Scotland.
Never had one in Scotland. The closest, I think, maybe Manchester. That was as close to Scotland as we got.
No, I think Sheffield's closer.
Well, give or take both of them. That's as far as we got, close as we got. The 200, is another 100 odd miles to go to Scotland. Yeah, it's a strange one that actually we never had it in Scotland. Or if you think about it, it is Great Britain and Northern Ireland. We never had one in Northern Ireland either.
But yeah, that's it for JP's news round. That's it for the debate. And to finish off with, as you would have known, we do have, if I can find it, the Delinquents Da Vinci
Fantasy League.
Fantasy League. Now, we got 19 people that signed up for this.
Say it again.
19. No, 19. Remember that song? No, 19.
No, 19, yeah.
Yeah, classic. Anyway, 19 people have took part. I can actually tell you right now, Bacon Sarni is top of the league, which absolutely shocks the shit out of me, because knowing how much you play Premier League manager and everything, I thought you'd be up there always.
I was up there. I'm still up there.
Let me look at the table. Let me scroll down to the fourth. Sinclair's fourth.
Yeah. Hold on.
Wayne Virgil.
Hold on. I've probably been at the top more than anybody since the start of the season. All right. I've had a bad week.
I'm putting them up on the screen now. As you can see, the current standings right now, Sinclair has a red arrow. He's moved down to fourth.
And where are you?
Takes a long time to find me. I am lit up in green. I am.
Are you on the same screen as me?
No, 16th out of 19, me.
You're the Man United of the Fantasy League, ain't you, lad?
I am, yeah.
You do look a bit like Ten Hag as well.
I can't, to be honest, when I looked at the league, I can't believe in 8 Cheshire Cats, Anthony and Sue Peel are that far in front of me. Couldn't believe it. But talking of before,
long way to go. No. Before, it's a long way to go in the Fantasy League. But yeah, before we finish, it has been it's like we've had a death in the family.
Well, it was, yeah.
This week. It was like a death in the family.
Yeah, it was.
I'm so sad. I just can't understand why they would do such a thing. Why would they do it?
We was on the phone. We was on the phone to each other. Why it happened?
I can't believe it. I'm just distraught. I didn't sleep last night. The night before, I didn't sleep. I can't believe they've had... Why did they do this?
I don't know. Tell them. Tell the fans.
Why did they sack Ten Hag? We needed 4 more years of him.
He should have been...
4 more years. He should have been knighted for what he's been doing at Man United. He should be called Sir 10.
Sir 10. I'm happy with that, I tell you. Gutted.
Absolutely gutted. It's distraught.
Gutted.
Can't believe it. Ineos, what are you doing? What are you thinking of?
Yeah.
If you wanted relegation, you should have kept him. Sad news.
Bad news.
But we will move on. So, wow. That was... To be fair, it has taken us a long time to film this show. It has taken over 2 days to film this show to bring it to you with
lots 7 hours of filming.
Technical difficulties on his fault.
On his behalf.
We know it's a controversial show. but people love it. And if you don't love it, you just switch off. But you can't help yourself. You always want to look. You want to see what we've got to say.
It's controversial for the simple fact we have the gonads to say what you won't. And we get in trouble because you won't, but we will. But we're happy with that. I'm happy to say if it means it's pointed out to them suits who are completely out their depth, so be it.
I know. What have you dragged me into? I have no idea.
Well, think of it this way. We have done nothing wrong. You've been attacked and I got banned for doing nothing wrong. So now they've got a target on their back.
Like Mo Salah.
That guy's got skills.
Oh, yeah, he's definitely got skills. Anyway.
The next show will be regarding something very controversial.
Very controversial.
The classification system.
We got, yeah, so the classification is next. What's after that one? I'm sure we've got something else up.
Cheers. The price of cheers.
Oh, my God, the NHS voucher and the chairs. Oof, that's going to be a bit of a hot topic, isn't it, really?
Not so bad.
It's going to be a hot topic. So, listen, we're about done here. Tune in to the next episode of The Delinquent Show, Season 3, Episode 2. It will be with you soon. I hope you enjoyed the show. Thanks for watching. Adios, amigos. Done! Done!
That's a team, gentlemen. Hell yeah. And either we heal now as a team, or we will die as individuals.